Greetings, everyone. Thank you for coming and joining us today. For those that are joining us virtually, I'm going to drop the program into the chat as well as the obituary. So you have both of those deliverables with you today. Today we are celebrating the life of Katy Mobley. Yes, in a special tribute with all of the things that she holds so dear, one being music and the other being family and friends. So sit back and relax. We're very happy to see you. Hi, Debbie. I see you. Everyone else that's joining, we have people from Fort Lauderdale, we have people joining from Cleveland, Ohio, and then we have a house full here in Orlando. So I thank everyone that took the time today to be here to honor my mother. We're going to skip down second in the program and go straight to a word from Katy. And if you didn't know, I am Katy Pearson. I'm the other Katy Mobley. Before I was married, that was my maiden name. I'm Katy Jr. And just a little quick tidbit about that. My mom believed that if a man can have a junior, so can a woman. So she named her first and only child after her. And so I'm technically Katy Jr. You don't need to call me that though. Katy Rose is fine, or just plain old Katy. Great to meet everyone if I haven't met you yet. Hi, Marvin. Hi, Luz. Great to see you guys. Glad you made it. All right, so we'll begin first with a word from Katy.
I was on the turnpike, and these goddamn drivers, they're out there to kill people. I swear to God. And and I speed. I don't speed over 80 miles an hour though. But these people are going by me at 110 and faster. It's just, I mean, they come out of nowhere and they try to cut you off. It's like, oh my God, I know what, if I ever die, it's going to be from something like that, because I'm real careful. I'm really, really, really careful. But even if you stay in your lane and don't move, these people come out of nowhere and they weave in and out of traffic. Oh my God, oh my God. But I wasn't going to put on my Christmas list, which I haven't done yet because I got sidetracked here and didn't get to the library, and I'm too tired right now. Anyway, I'm looking for a box of 50 count, 25 caliber bullets because I don't have any bullets for my gun. And those son of a bitchin' bastards at doctor, that motherfucking doctor. I get there, it's not $40, it's $60. And son of a bitches, well, God knows I didn't pay $60. I just did the $40, and they can stuff it up their fucking butthole. Wait till I get them on the phone on Monday. Boy, oh boy, I'll tell you. It's like they think everybody's rich, and son of a bitch.
Hey, it's Grandma. In your travels, can you get me a jug of booze? That's about it. Love you. Bye.
All right. So you can already tell this is a different type of tribute, a different type of celebration. You're going to make sure that you remember Katy as she is. So no tears today. We want you to bring your stories and bring your memories. And just before we start, that was some Katy humor, but we also have some additional things that we wanted to share. And here's a joke, especially from Katy.
There's this couple, and their last name is Hills, Hills, and they're driving through Transylvania, and it's really dark, and they're out in nowhere, and the car starts having problems, and the husband and wife aren't feeling well, and they thought, oh, we need to call somebody for help, and they see nothing around, but in the distance there's this big mansion with lights on. And so they decide they'll walk up there and see if they can use the phone. They get there and Igor answers the door, and they ask to use the phone, and he says, we don't have a phone, but my master is a sort of a doctor and he might be able to help you. And so Igor takes them down to the basement to the lab, and they lie down on the slabs, and the master comes down and tries to help him, and apparently it looks like there's nothing he can do. They die, both of them. And the master's so distraught, he goes upstairs and starts playing on his pipe organ. And meanwhile, Igor's down there in the lab with the Hills, Mr. and Mrs. Hills, and the husband starts to move, and then he sits up, and then the wife starts to move, and then she sits up, and Igor's ecstatic. He runs up and says to the master, "Guess what? The hills are alive with the sound of music."
All right, now it's your turn. So we had an opportunity to hear from Katy today, my dear mother, and we're on Zoom, and we also have many people here that have joined us that are here at home. And so we wanted to take this opportunity to hear from you. Any special memories that you had that you wanted to share, feel free to go ahead and unmute yourself, and we'll take all the time that we need. And I know I have some people on here that have some very special memories. So it would be great for you to share them with the rest of the group, and anyone can start.
Can you hear me?
I can hear
All
you.
right.
Aunt Susie.
I probably knew Katy the longest of anybody. She was her father and my mother were first cousins, so we were really related, but we always said we were cousins. And we lived a couple blocks from each other, and we hung out and did all sorts of fun things. Taught me how to go through the tree cuts.
Go ahead.
She taught me to go underneath the terminal tower through the streetcar tunnels, and she always carried a great big bottle of Royal Crown Cola. And then she graduated to whiskey. But she was amazing when she was a child too. She was a prodigy in everything she did. So we're gonna miss her.
Yes, we are. And I remember going to Aunt Susie's house in Sandusky and being able to stay out there and play and have such a great time with everyone. And she was able to see you several times while when you came down to Florida. And that really brought her a lot of joy to be able to see you and spend time.
Well, every time we came, we got to see her. It was great. So, and the one joke she told was at our house.
Yes, we were at your house in Avon Park, right? Ruskin. Mm-hmm.
When she came over, she liked to drink Manhattans.
Yep. All right. And those in the room also that are here, if you wanted to say anything, you also feel free to. Maggie is there, Stephen is there to assist. Marvin, I think I saw you unmute. Did you want to say anything?
I think we got it now.
Yes, we hear you.
Oh my God, because all this stuff is all new to me. First of all, I've probably been friends with Katy. I'm sure it's got to be a good 30 odd years. And we met years ago when we had something called the South Florida Jamboree that was in North Miami Beach. And a friend of ours who's passed away, Lefty Watson Rogers, he was the one that started it. And a lot of local musicians, myself included, we all got involved in it. And it was every Friday night. And Katy was one of the first ones also involved in the South Florida Jamboree. And she wore an outfit very similar to the one that you sent out on the internet, the picture. And she played a electric bass guitar. And she was up there on the stage. She had the boots on. I remember that she wore some kind of a wig all the time, just about. It was like her favorite thing. And anyway, she got on stage there and she started cranking out these tunes. And I know that she was the a director at a church in Fort Lauderdale for the music. And also she was teaching piano and everything. But every Friday, like clockwork, we were there and Katy was up on that stage and was playing this music. So I know that she liked country music as well. I even remember years ago that they stole her bass guitar. I think Katie, you remember I mentioned it to you, and she was really upset about that. Luz, my wife, who's here with me, Katie was teaching her the piano, and every so often we'd go out, like we'd meet up together in Fort Lauderdale area, and we'd go and have ourselves a couple of drinks, just in the bar or something like that. That was her big thing, and she really enjoyed it. So that was nice, that was something she enjoyed, and she never got like inebriated, like she was always to quite put together. I remember Katie had, and I thought it was another car, but Katie mentioned it, but she had, it was a diesel, and I think it was a Ford. And
Yeah,
that was like her fit. Does anyone remember that Ford diesel that she had?
5-speed.
Yeah, because that was her car. And anyway, we always got together, and Katie every so often would go to the library, and all of a sudden I'd get something in the mail. She'd send me a book or something. It would say like banjo tunes for the fiddle, or fiddle tunes for the banjo, something musical. And she always called to see how I was doing, and I always called her to see how she was doing, because for many years we were both, single out there, and like it's always nice to have a good friend to call you. She was that good friend, and for 30 years, even when she moved to Katie's house, I used to call her, or she would call me to see how we're doing, and we've always kept up like that. She was a character and a half. I got to tell you, and when you just played that little bit with her, that was Katie. That was Katie all the way. I guess I couldn't describe her any different. And she became like friends to my wife and myself all these years. And we talked about the different jobs that we had. And I was applying for a job. I had gone back to school, and I got a degree in criminal justice. And there was an opening in North Miami for a crime watch coordinator. And I was doing my resume, and I called Katie, and I said, Katie, something's missing, like in my resume, and I want this job if I can get it. She said, well, read it to me. And she said, well, F that, let's change it. And that was her, I still remember. And anyway, we added a few things in there, and I submitted the resume. I eventually got the job. So I always said to Katie, hey, you were the one that helped me with my resume to get that job. And I worked at it, like I was there 14 plus years. And so I always have good thoughts and feelings, and Luz, with the piano teaching and everything. And just our relationship in general was one to be remembered. Till the day I'm gone, I'm always going to be thinking of her. And you too, Katie. And now I just met Katie's cousin.
Yes.
So that was nice.
Yeah.
She liked country music, even though she was very good with classical and everything. I heard her play the piano. She was like really good musician. And it's a loss. It's a real loss. But that's life, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but thank you for letting me say something. I'm
Thank you
getting
for
up there. She was what, 79?
77.
77? So I had her by, 5 years almost, 4 years. And that's it. And I'm just looking forward to hear more things from her good friends.
Absolutely. Thank you, Marvin and Luz. She really
Thank you.
appreciated you coming to visit and having the time to talk on the phone. So many opportunities that you share.
Yeah,
So
I'll miss her. Believe me, that's
I've
one guy
enjoyed
for sure is going to miss her.
Yes, we will. Thank you.
Yeah.
Anyone else?
Hey, Katie.
Hey, Nikki.
How you doing?
It's a hard day, but I'm happy to see so many people.
And your mom would tell you to get your shit together. the one thing about your mom is that she was fearless and she loved you. And your mom was unique in all ways and fashion, but your mom was smart. Your mom had several degrees, but the one thing I love is that she cultivated your love for music. And I know that that is one of the reasons why we thought we was going to be rappers. But, you know, we did a lot of things because your mom's musical intelligence. I mean, we did all kind of things. We love all kind of music. Me and you have been from Y100 to 99 Jams. I mean, we listen to everything, and I think a lot of people don't know just how eclectic our love for music is. Your mom, I just remember so many times her on the piano or playing the guitar, or you know, you coming to my house because she got a gig. I love the fact one of my favorite memories is we were driving on Airport Road. She had picked us up from school, and she was trying to get to an appointment, and she was like, "We're gonna get there, ladies. Just hold on. Get the hell out of the way." I mean, she was just so funny to me. Sometimes I just be sitting there in amazement, like, this lady is a badass. She really does not care. She does not care. I remember that one time, that infamous fight in high school, and she's like, "As long as you kicked her ass, you don't anybody mess with you, Katy, because that's not how I raised you to do." I mean, it's just so many memories from so many, many years. I know her love for animals. Her, you know, I know that's why one of your children are going to grow up to be a veterinarian, you know, the horses and things. Her influence on people. And if you really sat down and got to talk to her, she was so intelligent about so many things in the world. I mean, she just had a vast passion for knowledge. She wasn't afraid to speak her mind. She wasn't afraid to have a good time. She didn't give a damn who you were. She did what she wanted to do. She lived her own way. She beat her own drum. And she would tell you that too. And that was the one thing that I know that you got from her, Katy, that you're fearless, you're passionate, you're loving, and you're kind. And so, yes, you are Katy Jr. Many, many times. Katy Jr. And that was my vanilla mom. You know, we lived down the street for years, and I know that you're gonna miss her, but you have so many memories, and there's so many things about you that I see in her, so many positive things about her, especially your love and your freedom and your spirit. I wish everybody could see how beautiful her spirit is in you, Katy. So I'm not gonna say much because this is a happy day. This is a happy day. Happy day. Rock on. And again, get it together, Katy. Right now. Rock on.
Thank you, Nikki.
You're welcome. Sorry for cussing, Mom. I was just telling the real truth, Mom. I know you're on there.
Yes, because Nikki's mom is on here too. How Mama Jan. Any others that would like to say a few words?
Hey, Katy, how you doing? This is Harry, sweetheart.
Hi, Harry.
Hey, I just wanted to just be really quick. Although I wasn't blessed to have the pleasure of meeting your mom and knowing your mom, from everything that Nikki said and to what I'm hearing, and you know how I feel about you. You know how far you, me, and Steve go back. You are most definitely her namesake. Based on everything I've learned in the short amount of time about your mother and her fearlessness. I just remember many years ago just being on the hill. You by far are one of the most genuine, the most kind, the most matter of fact, the most be about your business. As Nikki said, the most fearless. When you do the job, you get the job did, as in past tense, as in it's done. You know what I mean? Before you already begin to do it. And so, you know, I just pray for the family and pray for strength to everyone. But she truly, from what I've heard and what I've learned, you know, in a short amount of time, her spirit truly lives through you. And, you know, I know that you are just going to continue to make her proud. You're one of the most awesome people on this planet. And from what I've learned, if we all could just have 20% of Miss Katy and just her fearlessness, I think we could all accomplish a lot of things that we wanted to, instead of sometimes, if we think about it, sitting on the sidelines and things and opportunities passing us by. But I see your fierceness and your fearlessness, and you seize every opportunity that comes. You let nothing get in your way. And on top of that, your sweet nature, your good nature, your kindness, the way you deal with people is so authentic and so real. So if you are anything, you know, like your mother, and I believe that you are, then without meeting her, I know who she is through you. I love you, Katy.
Love you too. Thank you, Harry. Appreciate that. Thank you. Debbie, I saw you unmute. It's still muted. Are you sure? We can't hear you. We want to hold it for a little. Debbie has in every moment, I think, when I have felt a little sad, I got a note, a text, or something on Facebook from Miss Debbie. And you wrote an amazing tribute to my mother on Facebook right after we posted. And so I know you knew her. I know that you loved her. She told me all the time about how you guys used to go out for drinks and how much fun she had at the Indigo Girls. I don't know if you remember that, but she spoke about that all the time. And so I really appreciate the friendship that you gave to her, and it meant so much to her. And I really wish you guys had an opportunity to connect before she passed on. But just know she heard your message, because I played it for her and she was so happy to hear it and kept saying, we've got to give Debbie a call when I get a little bit more energy. Unfortunately, that didn't happen, and I'm so sorry. But I need you to know that she thought about you and she had only good things to say. So
I know she did it. I feel awful that I get to talk to her, but she was such a strong woman. I don't even know if I could handle hearing her, you know, not being the way I know her. So in a way, maybe that was meant to be. I feel terrible that I wasn't able to connect with her or you at those times, but I mean, it's just nuts. But I don't know if any, maybe all of you did. I see some names I recognize on there. First of all, I want to thank you and the family for even offering this and doing this and reaching out and you know, Katy was unique and one of a kind and a character. And if you all read my Facebook thing, there's so much more I can add to it. And I'm not going to go through that one again, but I do have a couple little things that I got together here. I have my skull jar that used to be full of vodka. Okay, we filled it up with glow in the dark things. You can all hear me, right? Okay, so I have that here. I have, you can't really see it, but I'm going to show you over here. This is a Halloween cat.
yes,
with a Halloween hat on, because Katy loved her Halloween. I have right here, you probably can't see it, Hotel Transylvania is playing right now because of this. I have my little Namaste kitty cat ready to go. I have my wine to toast and cheers all night long. I would drink whiskey, but you know, that was Katy's thing. After her allergy pill, all good, right? So I think, what else I got here? Okay, the last thing I have, I wanted to say one thing. She gave me a book of ruins. She was very spiritual and she was just always into all this stuff. And we kind of bonded that way, aside from all the cats. I've got cats running around all over the place behind me. She gave me a book of ruins and told me how to use it. And she actually made me the ruins, they're little chips made out of wood. And she like somehow burned the designs and everything into that. So she made that for me. I still have that. You know, they're away over there somewhere. I don't exactly know where that's my cat opening the window. Stop that. So I have that still and treasure that from her. Just one little thing I have that I just dug up. I couldn't just find any pictures because I have only hard copy pictures probably of all of our times together, from all of our jobs together and all of our parties and picnics and bar times together. But I just, they're like away somewhere. So everything's been digital camera and phone and everything for so long now. I just couldn't find anything. I feel terrible at that. When I find them, you're going to get bombarded. Okay, so I just want to show one real quick. I'm not going to read the whole packet here, but this is a packet that Katy made when I worked with her at Century Communications. See that on top? It says tension relief. Now she used all, let me make sure nobody's trying to, all of pretty much Century Communications paper and ink and tape. And she made things like the whole thing is filled up. Like this is a bullseye on a head, and she actually hand wrote something on there like, you know, I'm just a technician, and you know, I don't know how to do that or whatever. What's it say here? I'm just a tech. It's not my job. So there's like all these things on here. We worked at a cable, internet, and alarm monitoring company, and the whole thing is full. And she made them. It's catered. It's not just cartoons. They're actual like things that people said and did in the office. But basically this, Happy Holidays, Deb, this booklet, I don't know if it's backwards for you guys or not, is rated XXX. If you, what does it say? If you have no sense of humor or feel you might be offended, don't read it. I can't believe there's not an F word in here somewhere, but that's basically, if you're easily offended or you have no sense of humor, then, you know, F off. So that was Katy. And I did find this because I held it dear, and there's so many funny things in here, and I'll send you a copy if you don't actually have one already, because she probably mailed you one. Everybody in the office got one catered to their name, and that was just Katy, and she was amazing. She was a great asset to the office. She loved her music, her death metal. I heard about, I didn't know all about the jazz. I knew about her carrying her gun around. She loved her gun.
Two guns.
Huh?
Two guns.
No, two. I only knew about one. And her cats and her Halloween and her Transylvania. And I know she loved all of her family. That's all she talked about when she wasn't talking about everything else. So anyway, too much babbling, but I just thank you so much for doing this. I love this. And I'm just
We're so happy that you could be here this way.
Of course, I blocked everybody and everything out. This is my thing here right now for you guys. Yeah. Guys, thank you very much.
You definitely knew her. She was very proud that her family came from Mesoterem, Transylvania, which is now Romania. But before it was Romania, it was Transylvania. And so she was very proud of being from that region and all the culture that came with it. And so being first generation born here in this country, she's also one that wanted to keep a lot of the customs, the food, the stories alive. Just like she made that little booklet for things going on in the office, she would make booklets for everything or make sure that it was documented. I have bags and bags of things that are dealing with genealogy and just history of the family and recipes and stories and things of that nature. She was the ultimate archiver, right? And she would label. So I do know that as I continue to go through things, I'll probably find things that relate to many of you, and I will also pass those along because she has kept everything. Aunt Susie, I think I sent you a text with a picture of when I was born. They sent a card and flowers, and she kept the card. And I could not believe in going through that card was in there. I'm 50 years old. I know I don't look it, but I am. And so she kept a card from 50 years ago. So I'm sure there's many, many other treasures that are in there that relate to all of you. Because one thing she did was keep things. Yes. Yeah. Any others want to share?
I could tell you something I don't think you knew. You know, our grandmas were both born in Mesoterem, and they were not really truly Hungarian. They were Schwab. They brought the Germans into Hungary, and so they spoke Hungarian and did all their traditions, but they were Schwab. So you have to look that up. It's kind of a neat thing. And they used to put their fingers under their suspenders and play polka music and say, "We are Schwab." They were really ethnic. We drank whiskey, and my grandfather was a sausage maker, so they would eat sausages and had a still. So they all came to our house.
That sounds exactly like my mother. So
yeah.
Absolutely. So one thing she did love was many different types of music. If you signed on a little early, we had a musical tribute going, and it ranged from polka to rock and roll to classical to country to bluegrass, like all of that. Any music was good music, right? So at the end, when we sign off, we're going to also play that again. So if you wanted to just keep the Zoom going, you could hear a little bit more of some of Katy's favorites. Any others that wanted to share?
Katy?
Yes, I hear some.
Go ahead.
Hi, I'm Carnell Pearson. I'm Katy's grandmother. Oh, yeah, boy, know about her grandmother. I'm her granddaughter. I'm so sorry, you guys. I'm so sorry. I'm very nervous. I just wanted to say that I don't have any specific memories, but growing up with Vanilla Grandma was like the coolest thing ever. She was so creative. Like she made so many blankets for us and stuff like that, and dresses and cute little outfits all the time. This is one of the blankets she's made for me. Horses. It has horses because I ride horses and have ridden horses for 12 years. For context. She was one of the most giving and thoughtful people that I ever knew. For every holiday, me and Kaylee, we all got baskets. For Halloween, she made these cool, like, big baskets with all this full of candy. Yes, and all these cool activity books. She was just the coolest, most funnest grandma. She would go to Universal, ride all the rides with us. She was just the most, no, everybody's cool. But she was such, excuse my language, but she was the most badass woman I've ever met, and I'm gonna miss her so much, and nothing will ever be the same without her. She's left such an amazing imprint on the world, and rock on. She also liked to decorate a lot, so when it came to like holidays, I remember Christmas, she used to always bring like this little train, and it would go like through like a little Christmas village, and you could turn it on in the middle of the night. The train would like go through the village, and it was the cutest decorations. And I remember one year we did something to piss her off, and she ended up leaving, taking the entire tree with her and all of the Christmas decorations that she took the time to put up. She took them all down and left. I don't remember what we did, but we pissed her off that day.
Remember, we called it Grandma Grinch. Then she came back.
But yeah, we love her so much, and I love everybody that's in here, and thank you guys for coming. It means a lot. It's my turn. Maggie's coming.
Hi, everybody. Yeah, see me. Hi, everybody. My name is Maggie. I met my sisters, but I'm grandma's favorite. Everybody knows it. Oh, yeah, right there. Oh, no, yeah, everybody knows it. Grandma was my person. I'm gonna do this without crying. She played an amazing role in my life. Recently I was thinking it's prom season. I remember grandma shopping for my prom dress down south and mailing it to me, doing my class ring. We talked a lot up till she got sick, and we would talk. Grandma would leave me so many voicemails, which I still have. But one way I want to remember grandma is that she was bold. She was very outspoken, which she has taught me to stand up for whatever and anything. If I believe in it, stand up for it, because grandma is going to tell you exactly how she feels, and she holds nothing back. But the side that I don't think a lot of people saw grandma was very, 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 very loving. Like I don't know how she does it. Grandma got me out of everything. If it was a ticket, I'll call grandma. She got me out of it. When I got into my first car accident, I didn't get a ticket, even though I hit the person. Grandma got me out of it. When I was in college, grandma got me out of everything. I don't know how she did it, but grandma was my person. I'm just so thankful that I got to experience her, to experience a genuine, unconditional love, because I can remember grandma at every single part of my life, from my wedding, doing my wedding cake, pushing me through school, and just being that support for me was amazing. So rock on, grandma, in heaven. Bye. That's right. Love your face. Her face. Yeah. Forever face.
How's everyone doing? I'm Johnny. I love what everybody was saying earlier. It kind of brought me back to me being over in Boca when they were staying in Boca, and I was the one that when Katy moved to Orlando, I used to go and watch moms all the time and make sure everything was okay and everything was good with her. But she used to hem my pants for me all the time. She loved doing sewing. She loved to sew. She made tablecloths for me. She gave me a bunch of tablecloths, and she had a piano in her house, which I never had the opportunity to see her play. But she had this big giant cat, and I'm not scared of cats, but you know, mom kept like a lot of stuff in the house, so I never knew where the cat was at. You know, so I just wanted to, you know, when you walk in, you got to be careful because you know the cat will jump out. So, but one thing I do remember is when I go over, mom had beer in the refrigerator, and you know I used to drink with her, but she only allowed you to drink the beer. You couldn't drink her vodka. So only thing, you know, she'll tell you, oh yeah, honey, oh yeah, dear, I got some beer in the refrigerator. You know, you're welcome to it, but you just can't drink my vodka. So every time I go over there, I have a beer. So, but you know, we end up sneaking, you know, drinking the vodka, me and my brother, and she'll notice. She'll notice that, you know, that her vodka been hit, you know, and she'll ask. But you know, there's a lot of things I remember. I'm glad. I remember Nika was saying about the driving because I rode with her too, and trust me, she'll cuss everybody out. Yeah. When she rides, she will cuss. If you're in the way, you know, you're an idiot. So it's. I'm glad that everybody here is speaking on moms and saying how they feel about moms. We all gonna miss moms. I'm gonna miss her dearly. What else I do remember? Oh yeah, before she came to Orlando, the black and white cat. She didn't want to leave the black and white cat. She wasn't gonna come to Orlando. She's like, oh, I gotta find them, Boosie. I gotta find them. But Katy was saying, oh yeah, we're gonna I forgot, Katy, what you were saying there. We're gonna put her in the car and just take off or something, but you're gonna leave that cat. And she did not want to leave that cat, man. Trust me. So I used to go by the house and look and see the cat. You know, he was all every time she come out, he'll come out the backyard under that bush and everything. But she loved cats, man. That's one thing I love about her. She loved those cats to death.
Even when she got here, but she got a little bit better, she made me drive her all the way back to Fort Lauderdale for that cat. And when we got down there to the house that had been sold, someone else lives in the house. We found the cat. The cat was sitting on the steps, like right outside on the porch there. And so we tried to get the cat, but the cat did not want to go. And thank God that cat did not want to go. And so I was able to talk her into how traumatic it would be to bring this cat that really loves to just lay here on these steps all the way to Orlando to be unhappy. He's obviously being taken care of. Everything's good. They're feeding him. Yes. And so yep, she agreed then to let the cat be happy. We're able to turn around, drive 3 hours all the way back. But she had seen the cat. She would not let me rest until I took her back for that cat. She told me she had dreams about the cat. The cat came to her in a dream. The cat is by itself. We got to go get the cat. The cat is waiting. Okay, so we drove all the way down there. When I got there, she got to visit her neighbors as well. Her neighbors was like, you came all the way for a cat? I was like, listen, you already know my mom. She was cussing me out and calling me all kind of stuff and telling me I better take her ass back down there to get this cat. So we drove for the cat, but thank God there was God that day. That cat was happy and did not want to get in my car. So, and I love cats, but I just didn't want to drag every cat from Fort Lauderdale back to Orlando. I just did not want to have to do that. So, yeah.
Katy, Homie was the favorite cat, though. Homie the cat. Homie was the favorite cat. I remember her naming that, and we were so tickled because the living car was so popular. She was like, "My mama named that cat Homie the cat."
Yeah. Yep. Homie was the favorite. Okay, well, we're going to pause for a minute. We'll have some opportunity to share as well if you have some things later on. I wanted to go into a video montage. I also wanted to welcome Aralise here. Aralise was her caregiver for about 3 months, for the last 3 months that she was here. And Meg, I need you to come get your phone. I think somebody's phone is in here ringing real loud. I don't know whose it is in a purse. And so she was with us for around 3 months, and she was an absolute angel. And so I really wanted to say thank you, Aralise, for all that you did to help us and take care of my mother and really be that angel, because she does not let anyone do anything to her, and especially not a stranger. But she trusted you, and you made a bond with her, and you forever changed our lives. And I am so grateful to you for all that you did to help care for her. And we'll share a little bit more about that later as well, because I don't want to get choked up. So let's go into our video montage.
That's your high school picture. That's her high school picture. Does she look like...
Some say love, it is a river that drowns the tender reed. Some say love, it is a razor that leaves your soul to bleed. Some say love, it is a hunger, an endless aching need. I say love, it is a flower, and you, it's only seed.
Where are you getting these jokes?
I found them on the internet. I couldn't believe it. You can never find a Transylvania or Hungarian joke anywhere, and then all of a sudden I found 3 of them.
So you have another.
Oh yeah, this is the best one. I should have sang that. The hills are alive with the sound of music. Then, all right, there's a bunch of vampires in Transylvania, and they decide they need a vacation. Well, where should we go? Hey, well, let's go to Italy. They have such great food there. Oh my God! So they go to Italy, and they eat at this restaurant, and nearby there's a bridge, and they, where people can walk over the bridge, and they decide to hide under the bridge and wait for people to cross the bridge, because they're thinking, wow, if we drink their blood, all that marvelous Italian food, the blood will be fabulous. So a couple goes across the bridge, and the vampires attack them and drain them dry, and they toss their bodies over the bridge into the water. And they go hide again, and they're going, let's just do one more. Okay. Another couple goes across the bridge and they attack them and drain their blood and toss them over the bridge into the water. And they're thinking, well, we ought to leave and go back to Transylvania. No, let's just do one more for dessert. Oh, that blood was just magnificent with all that Italian food in the blood. Oh my God. So another couple goes across the bridge and they attack them and drain their blood and toss them over the bridge into the water. And they say, well, we better get out of here. We got to get back to Transylvania. And as they're leaving, they hear this voice singing. And they're going, what the heck is that? And they go back to the bridge and they look over the bridge and there's this alligator going, drained wops keep falling on my
Oh, Mom! That's awful! That is awful!
Wait, I think that's funny. Drained wops keep falling on my head.
You can't say that.
Wait, I don't get it.
That's a racial slur.
That's okay because I was
Italian.
looking for ethnic jokes.
Well, that's not a good one.
But that's a good one. Yes, it is.
Wait, how is that for
Drained wops keep falling.
Mom!
Every time I hear that song, that's all I'm going to remember.
No, don't.
Oh, yeah, that's the best one yet.
Cha-cha-cha.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Grandma. Happy birthday to you. Woo! Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
You gotta be kidding.
1, 2, 3.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Banana Grandma.
Yes.
Happy birthday to you.
Oh, you're making me cry.
Oh, don't cry. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday.
And then there's the Beatles.
I don't know.
They say it's your birthday. Well, happy birthday to you.
Yeah, how does it? They say it's your birthday.
That's it. That was it.
Happy birthday to you.
I never heard the Beatles version.
Yeah, there's a lot of versions.
Probably because I'm too
Every
young.
band I've ever been with plays that song.
How old are you, Ma?
What?
How old are you?
74.
74!
And all is well except for my head.
All right. There was a lot in that particular video. We tried to showcase so many things about my mom. If you didn't know, she loved to bake. She made the best cookies at Christmas time. She'd make kolaczkis, and she'd have all kind of different things, and just come up here with her great grandmother's rolling pin, because mine apparently wasn't good enough. She needed that one. Because it just made everything a little bit better when she baked. So she would bring that up, and she'd make cookies for everybody, and she'd make enough to take back and enough for you to take to work and to take to whoever wanted to use them or have them. She'd make German cookies, and she'd make all kinds of stuff, fruit cakes and all kinds of different breads, and she cooked paprikash and goulash and stuffed cabbage and all kinds of stuff. And so I'm going to miss that the most. I guess I'm going to have to go to Aunt Susie's house to get my traditional food from now on, travel up to Cleveland. I think I saw Uncle Jeff in the background as well, too. So get ready. I'm going to have to travel up there at least once a year so I can have some traditional food as well. Also, she was classically trained. And so even though she played in many bands, the background that she had was classical music. And first and foremost, that was her love. So La Cremosa, which is Mozart Requiem, she did request that that be played. And that was one of her favorites. And so we did end that montage with that particular piece. Before we go into our final musical tribute, I did want to see if anyone else had anything that they were moved to say. Yes, go ahead, Miss Baby.
Hi there. This is Frankie, my husband, who also,
Hello.
knew Katy for a while.
Hi.
First off, let me say I'm sorry for your loss to you and the whole family. I've been with Debbie 21 years, so I've known Katy 21 years. Didn't spend a lot of time with her, but we had this connection as far as music goes. And first, let me start off by saying I am Italian. And I didn't find WAP thing I thought that was hilarious. Drain WAPs. That's hilarious. Let me tell you.
Thank you, because I wasn't sure I was going to even keep it in here, but I was like, that's my mom, no.
No,
Easily offended, get out.
Yeah, exactly. But I thought, one time in my life, I had this great idea. I'm going to be the Vanilla Dread DJ because I love music, but I couldn't play anything. I never learned how to play an instrument. So what's better? I'll play other people's music. And she got so genuinely excited for me that when I had gigs, she would make up all the flyers and everything like that for me. I have them at work.
We have.
So she would make all the flyers for me, give me lots of flyers to go and start handing out to people for my gigs and stuff like that. And that was like right after I first started knowing her, and she just went out of the way for me, and beer and whiskey and rock and roll. We had long discussions about that. So I just wanted to say I'm very sorry, and I love seeing this and what you're doing. It's making me laugh, making me think back and feel good at a sad time. And also Halloween and cats.
Kitty
Yeah.
cats. Yeah.
Oh, that's another thing.
Oh.
We had two cats I lost my son, and he had 2 cats. So me and Deb go down and get the cats. We were like, what are we gonna do with these cats? We already have like 6 to 8 cats already. So she was like, maybe Katy will take them. So we asked Katy. Katy said, yeah, bring them over. So we brought them over, and she loved the cats. She named the cats and everything. Oh, what was it, a week later?
Joe and whatever, yeah.
And a week later, she's like, can you guys come take these cats back, please?
They're crazy.
They're crazy.
Running and going crazy all over the house.
So we went back down, we got the cats. We still have the cats. They're running around somewhere in
They're
here.
sleeping somewhere.
But she was just willing to help out any way she could, help animals. And yeah, she was really a great woman, and she will be very missed.
Thank you for that. I know that even up to her passing, she did not believe she had Parkinson's, and every time a doctor would tell her, she would tell them that they were crazy, they need to check something else. And I know if it hadn't been for Parkinson's, she would still be here loading that speaker cabinet in the back of her car, trying to get down to wherever a gig was. There were many a day when I was in high school and I would just be like, where's my mom? And I call her and she's like, oh, I went to Key West. And I'm like, that was 2 days ago. She's like, yeah, but I stopped at every bar on the way and played with somebody who was playing. So that was her. She would sleep where she dropped, and she would get in the car and go to play a gig in a minute. And I remember being little, and there was one really vivid memory. I had to be about 4 years old, and she couldn't find a babysitter, I think. And so she took me with her, and they were opening acts. And it was at, I believe, the Cleveland Coliseum. And so they did their thing, and I was there, and I was backstage. But when she got ready to go on, she was like, I'm going to sit you in a seat. I'm going to sit you in a seat right here, and I'll be back to get you after we go. And I said, okay. And then she sat me in a seat next to some people. I didn't know who the heck they were, but she sat me in a seat. She said, hey, this is my kid. I'm getting ready to play. Can you watch my kid? And the lady had a big old afro and these hoop earrings. I'll never forget. She said, sure, I'll watch your kid. And I sat there. And then she went and she played. And then after she was done, I was like, well, where's my mom? She's not coming back. And then all of a sudden, this big spaceship starts coming down from the stage, I was like, oh my God, it's a spaceship. Now remember, I'm little, I'm 4. I'm thinking this is a real spaceship. And these aliens like walk out of the spaceship and they start playing. It was George Clinton. It was Pete Funk. I was at a George Clinton concert, scared out of my mind. Like, where's my mom? These aliens. Yeah. So that's just one vivid memory. I got to see a lot of different concerts, a lot of different people play. She worked at a radio station, so she would get these free tickets, and she would drag me to everything. When there were even women's liberation marches, the ERA, I remember walking downtown. She's like, hold this sign and sing. We walk through here with no more fear. We walk through here with no more fear. That was my mom. So she was like, wherever she was going, I was going. Whatever she was doing, I was doing. She was dragging me along. She taught me to be the best letter writer anybody can be, because if anybody does anything wrong, there is an agency, a government entity, or some type of commission that you can write to that will handle whatever that situation is. And she always modeled that for me, as well as creating the best flyers, the best business cards, typing the fastest I have ever seen anyone type. She could just knock out and rattle out any kind of document in a moment's time. I think that was those piano fingers and those bass fingers that made her be able to type so fast. I think the job that she had right before she moved up here and stopped working was actually what's that where you listen, make a transcript. She would just listen and she would type, and they loved her, and she would just cuss them out and just say what she wasn't going to do and all this stuff, and they didn't care because she was the fastest at it. So they could put those little things on her and she would just type away, and as long as she took them out, they didn't ask her to do anything else, she was fine. But if you asked her to do anything else, she's like, I quit this goddamn job. They just don't know. They're gonna try me the wrong person, because I'm not gonna do this shit. I'm here to type, and that's it. Don't ask me to get coffee. Don't ask me to go get anything else. I'll type this shit up, but that's it. They got another thing coming, these bastards. So she also taught me how to cuss. I try not to model that as much though, right? But I am a big cusser sometimes. Get it from my mom. Yeah, my kids got it too, but that's okay. So
wait, Katy. Go. Hi, I'm Chocolate Grandma.
Hi, Chocolate Grandma.
Hi,
Talk to the camera, Mom.
Okay.
Yeah, Vanilla Grandma, that was my mama, and this is Chocolate Grandma, my husband's mama, as the kids affectionately coined them.
Yes. Well,
Years ago, well, we used to talk on the phone. I live in Jacksonville, and we would talk on the phone all the time, and we always end up talking about what aches and pains we had, what was going on with us. So she said, I'm gonna send you something. And I got this hot pink envelope in the mail. And it was from Katy. And we had been talking about pain. And we both had a little arthritis at the time. When I opened it, it was full of something that looked like marijuana. And I was standing to the dining room table, and the window was right there in front of, on the other side of the table. And when I opened it, and all of this grass fell out. The first thing I did was snatch the curtain, because I just knew the DEA was out. But it wasn't marijuana. It was like St. John's wort or something. But it was herbs. It was real herbs. But it scared me to death. But I called on the phone and she said, oh yeah, and you take that and you do this and just boil it in the water and just heat the water first and do this. She tell me everything to do. But I never forgot that. Nothing else was paid.
Yes, she loved her loose herbs. She did teach me how to use herbs, and I'm a big believer in that, right? We always have things that are natural first that we can try. And so she would mix up a salve or a tea or whatever may be, based on the different herbs and roots that she had. Also the rune stones. So keep your rune stones. Those are made specifically, and the intention that's in those rune stones is very important, Debbie, because when you make them and you etch all the symbols in yourself, it puts a little bit of that person into that. And so I read rune stones as well. And if you would like to learn how to use them, to help you with that also, because she would, and you only use them in really dire times of need. So they shouldn't really come out that often, but when they do, they'll tell you what you need. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm Auntie Roz, affectionately as what everybody calls me, family and non-family alike, it seems. But we met Big Katy, as we refer to her, over 30 years ago when Stephen was blessed to find Katy Rose and marry her. And so with Katy Rose came Big Katy. And I can remember the first time she came to Jacksonville and we all got to meet Big Katy. We had heard about Big Katy, but we never met her. And she came, I believe it was for Thanksgiving at my mother's home, and we were all there. And so we were all waiting because the legend of Big Katy had preceded her for her to come. Well, at that time, my husband, Amanda's father, he's very different too, kind of like Big Katy. Garcia is different. So everybody was waiting to see how the two of them might get along. And so Big Katy was there with her big hair, very petite little lady, big afro wig she had on that day. And she was a little bit quiet. She didn't know us at all, other than Stephen, obviously, and Katy. But Garcia came in very loud, as he often did. And I remember when he spotted Big Katy and he said, I'm going out on the back porch to have a drink. And that perked Big Katy right up. And so she followed him out on the porch, and he was smoking, and They were having a few cocktails and whatever. They became good friends that day. And all of a sudden, she felt like she was a part of the family. And I never forgot that. One of the things that I do recall was mentioned earlier that she made a cake for Maggie's wedding. And we were all seated at the family table. And she kept saying, well, they've got a big, pretty cake. You know, they're not going to want my cake. Yeah, it's okay. It's all right. And that kind of bothered me a lot. It really did. And so I call myself a baker as well. And I like to cut wedding cakes. And so I decided that we were serving Big Katy's cake. It was okay that they had the big fancy cake or whatever, the other cake that was store-bought, but it wasn't made with love. She did that with love because that's who she was, and that was her giving of herself for the wedding, and I wanted her to feel special too. So we got in there, I said, come on, we're gonna serve this cake, and we went in there and we sliced the cake and we served it to everybody. And that's one of my fondest memories, just of her caring enough that she wanted to be a part and she wanted to personally do that for her granddaughter. Another thing I remember, they hadn't mentioned, but Big Katy liked donuts. I don't know if anybody knows that, but she really liked donuts. Well, I knew she liked donuts, but nobody told me that there was like one special donut company that she liked. So we have Krispy Kreme, and I love Krispy Kreme. And they were having flavors of the month. So we were going to come down from Jacksonville one weekend. I don't know what for, but I decided, oh, I'm going to go back to Krispy Kreme and get Big Katy some donuts, which I did and brought them down. And so when she got up and she came into the kitchen wearing her favorite attire over the last few years, which was her bright orange Pearson Party t-shirt. And I said, Big Katy, I brought you some donuts. And she said, okay, thank you. And she ate and whatever. And so when I saw her the next time she came through, I said, did you enjoy your donut? She said, no, it tasted like crap. She didn't say crap. I'm saying crap. And I was just, and she was like, it was trash. That was, and we laughed so hard because it was so funny. And then they said, she doesn't like Krispy Kreme donuts. I said, well, why'd you tell me she didn't like donuts? Krispy Kreme donuts. But that was Katy. And we did love her. We loved her because we loved Katy, and she was a part of Katy. And when you say that she's Katy Jr., she really is, because she's the craftiest person, she's the letter writingest person, she's the spiciest person. And if she thinks that you've done her wrong, she's not gonna stop. It's not just her, but anybody wrong, if you've done anybody wrong. And her love for animals, I remember, because I'll just speak for myself. We're not animal people, in particularly not cat people. And they had powder and Saturn. And so they would hide because I think that they had gotten them from a shelter. But I became familiar with them and they accepted me. But when they saw me coming, they usually go hide somewhere. But thank you, Katy, for loving your mom and taking care of your mom. And we're so glad to have known her. And we love her because she's your mother, and we love you.
Thank you. I love you.
And also, I'm the first AKA in the family, and my nephew, like all of my nephews, they insisted that their girlfriends and wives had to be AKAs. So that's why.
Yes, and my Aunt Susie here is always so impressed with the sorority. She always asks me all the time about the sorority. So, so blessed to have that and the support of my sorority sisters. Just one quick story. I think this one really I have so many stories, but this one was one that left a deep impression. So often, I told you about my mom worked at a radio station, and the radio station usually you had to be there early. She had to be there early in the morning. Like she had to be there like at maybe, I don't know, 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. So sometimes that meant that we had to get on to the the rapid transit, which is like the subway up in Cleveland, and the bus, because we didn't have transportation. A lot of people don't, in big cities like that. So we had to get up really early, like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, go stand outside at the bus stop, and then take the bus to the rapid transit station, get on the train, get off the train, and then get back on the bus to get to my grandmother's house. And I would then stay at my grandmother's house, and then she would make her way onward to the radio station. Well, she would always tell me these were very much learning experiences of who you sit by and who you don't sit by when you're on the train, when you're walking, and, don't walk near the bathroom door. Someone could pull you in if you're by yourself. Make sure you walk away from that bathroom door. Don't make eye contact with strange people. Hold your purse tight, like all of those things. But this one particular early morning, because it was still dark out, we were standing at the bus stop. And my mom used to keep one hand in her coat pocket, because that's where her gun was. The other hand would be holding me. And so she had her purse on that one arm that had her hand in her gun pocket, and her other hand was holding me. And so a guy was like walking, and she was like, look at this guy, watch him. I don't trust him. He's like, look at, and she was right, because he started like running, and he grabbed my mom's purse, the strap of her purse. And she would not let go, boy. He was dragging. She let go of my hand, but he was dragging her, like trying to get the purse, and like I'm dragging her down the street almost. And I was screaming like, oh my God, and we're just outside by ourselves in the middle of the night. And she managed to get that hand out with that gun and turned around and pop, pop, pop. I think she hit him, because he took the hell off running. And I was just standing there like, oh my God, my mom just shot somebody. And then she picked herself up, put her purse back on her shoulder, put her gun back in her pocket, and walked over and looked at me, and she said, and that's why you always carry a purse with a thick strap, because that motherfucker would have got all my shit. And nothing about shooting anybody. That was not the lesson. The lesson was keep a purse with a thick strap. And so that was my mama right there. Nobody's gonna mess with you, and if they do, you're gonna know how to handle it. And he did not get her purse that day, and I don't think he ever came back either, because he already know don't mess with that one. And my mother was 5 feet tall, little tiny thing. I'm 5'9", and I'm Katy Jr., and I'm way bigger than she is, right? But she just didn't take anything off of anybody. And I will never forget that day. I just sat there like, and then she said, when we got off the bus to go to my grandma, she said, don't you tell your grandma what happened. So I kept them to myself, because she was like, she will not be happy that I'm shooting people. But yeah, that was her. That was my mama. Our Elise is also on here. Like I say, that was her caregiver for several months, and I think she just had to jump off. But the funniest thing was my mother kept asking her for beer, asking her for whiskey, and she would text me. She's like, your mom keeps asking for beer and whiskey, and I don't know if I should be giving it to her. So you have to give it to her, because that's all she really drinks. And she was like, is that good for her? I'm like, I don't know, but if she doesn't, I think she might like wither away, because she's had so much if you stop giving it to her. So she would make sure that she gave my mom her beer and her whiskey, and really took a lot of time to just get to know her. And on the day that she passed, I was not there that morning, and I always am grateful to our Elise being that angel that accompanied my husband with her to the hospital. And put me in the room by putting me on FaceTime until I could get there. So thank you so much for caring that much about my mother, and to be on here as well today. You've been such a blessing to us. Any other words before we go into our musical tributes?
Yeah, I gotta speak today. The first thing I want to say is I honor your mother and her giving nature. Everyone on here has talked about how giving your mother has been to them. And she was the same way with me as well. Debbie's husband talked about how out of nowhere, she just started doing stuff for you. She did the same thing for me. I have flyers, I have papers, I have all kinds of advertisements for my catering business. And she was 100% a supporter. As you can see, her orange shirt was one of the uniforms that she wore for the last, I think, 10 years, since she bought those shirts. She actually bought and ordered all of those shirts at the flea market down there in South Florida and shipped them up here in a box. And that just speaks volumes about how giving she was. She's always been a giver. She's always willing to give anything and everything to anyone who she feels like she can help. And that has been probably one of the best things that I think Katy took from her, because Katy's a giver too. I think that was one of the things that drew me to her, because she has such a giving spirit. And at the time, you know, it was magnetic. It was really magnetic to see how nice she was to everybody. I've never felt that she didn't care. I've always felt like she cared about the people that was around her. She cared about the people deeply when she cared about you. And if she didn't, she'd let you know that too. Katy's mom was what we call genuine. There was nothing about her that was gonna be fake. She's gonna tell you exactly how she felt. She's gonna tell you exactly what she believed in, and she was gonna tell you what she thought about something too. All of those things made her exactly who we love. She was a really special person, and she was a one of a kind. You know, we talk about people being unique, people being mavericks. And one of the things that I learned in my professional career was that one of the people told me was that a maverick will save your life, because they think differently. They see the world differently than most people. And mavericks can give you something that sometimes maybe you didn't see. Katy's mom always gave us something. And sometimes it was an absolute genuine diamond, a diamond in the rough. Whether it was a comment, whether it was a suggestion, whether it was something that she asked us to do, all those little things always made her special. And I honor her today. I honor my wife today. I love you, darling. And, you know, we always will be supportive. And we'll always remember Big Katy. Thank you.
Love you too. Thank you. On the day before my mother passed away, and it really was unexpected. She was in hospice, but she never knew she was in hospice, because if she knew I had called hospice, she would have been embarrassed and just cussed me out again. But she needed hospice, and they were wonderful. They told me when she was accepted to hospice, they thought maybe 6 months or so, could be up to a year. And it really was just 10 days that my mother was in hospice before she left us. So we were not expecting it to go so soon. But while she was in hospice, the chaplain mentioned to me that one of the services was that they had a music therapist that could come out and play. And I asked them, please, that would be great. She hasn't been able to play, you know, had it not been for Parkinson's, I know she would be playing. But she hasn't had an opportunity to, and she would probably enjoy someone to come out and play. Can you get that scheduled? And he said, it's really hard because we don't have a lot of music therapists, but I'll do the best that I can to get someone here. And so he was able to get the young lady to come. And she came, and she asked my mom what she wanted to hear. And she only wanted to hear 2 songs. And so the next song that I'm going to play is actually that young lady who I did reach out to afterwards. We were able to video that session when she was there with my mother, but I asked her if she would kindly make a video to play her rendition of that song, because it was just absolutely beautiful and my mother enjoyed it immensely. And I didn't know that that was going to be the last day that I was going to spend with her. And I was so happy that she had music in her life the day before she passed. So I'm going to share with you this rendition of the song that she requested, which was Dust in the Wind.
I close my eyes only for a moment, and the moment's gone. All we are is dust in the wind. Same old song. Just a drop of water and the endless sea. All we crumbles to the ground, though we refuse to see. Dust in the wind. All we are is dust in the wind. Don't hang on. Nothing lasts forever but the earth and sky. It slips away. All your money won't another minute buy. Dust in the wind. All we are is dust in the wind. Dust in the wind. Everything is dust in the wind.
And so I think my mom knew what we didn't know. And she was speaking through that song, knowing that, just knowing. So that song also was a special song for us because when my grandfather passed, we sang it together in the car. So when she chose it, I was a little bit taken aback, but it's such a beautiful song that, and that rendition that this young lady did was so amazing that I had to have her come back on, and I'm so thankful that she was able to. I do want to take a opportunity to just really thank my family. My mom has been with us for 4.5 years, and through this whole journey, we've gone from her losing mobility and having to be more and more independent, and that really was upsetting because of how independent she was, and not being able to do the things that she really loved to do because of that disease. Not being able to play music and cook food and sew and do those things that she really loved to do. But I really want to thank all of them, all my daughters, my 3 babies, and my husband for leaning in, because there were many hard days. There were many days that they had to be here to be the support because I couldn't, working around all of our jobs. And we haven't been able to take any time together as a family during that time, but it was okay because this is what you do for family. And before I had Stephen and my girls, it was just me and my mom. And so I'm all she had, and that's where she was going to be here with me until she couldn't be here with me. So I wanted to close with a toast, and I have another quick video that I wanted to show, because if you know my mom, you know her favorite thing was also to be able to toast and have a good drink with someone. So while my girls are passing around shot glasses, and all of you that are on here, I need to make sure I have your address, because we will be sending you little shot glasses, and they have her picture on them. And so you can keep those shot glasses as souvenirs. And we want to make sure that whenever you take a drink of whiskey or whatever you put in that shot glass, you can remember Katy. Okay, so let me go ahead and share this video really quick. And then you can also grab any of a libation of your choice that you might want to cheers or toast with, because at the end of this quick video, we're going to do a toast for Katy. So here comes the quick video.
Oh yeah. To getting young. What was the toast to? What was the toast to, Mom?
Getting old.
You toasted to get old?
Yeah, but
with the whiskey?
Whiskey. If you want to stay young, you gotta drink straight whiskey for your heart.
Well, that's what I'm doing. Yep.
That's what I do too.
He came and had a toast with you.
Yeah.
So whatever your drink of choice is, we're making sure everybody has a little bit here. Make sure you have some. Folks in the living room, somebody bring me a shot glass. Give about 15, 30 more seconds. They're still filling glasses out there.
Mother?
Yeah, thank you. I'll take a little bit. I'll take a little bit just for her.
Yeah, I'm coming back.
Now the funny thing is, here's the shot glasses so you can see. Wait, let me show you right here. But what's coming? So these little shot glasses with her picture on it will be coming to you. Please make sure to text me your address so that I can send you these, and I'll also send you a copy of the program and the obituary that we made. And we also have these come straight to you in a nice little skull bag, okay? Because we know that she likes skulls, and so we got them in a nice little skull bag, and you can forever keep it special. The drink of choice today is Canadian whiskey. That was my mom's favorite. So we got a little shot of Canadian whiskey. You can have whatever you have. And if anyone wants to say anything before we toast, one last opportunity. And if not, then here's to Katy. Always there to share a drink with whoever wanted to. Her spirit will live with all of us. This is what she would have wanted us, a way for us to celebrate her. And so remember, at the end of this, we'll be turning on some additional music, which was some of Katy's favorite, if you want to just leave your Zoom on and enjoy. But here's to Katy. Cheers.
You're here.
Oh, woo! And I don't even drink alcohol. And I took a sip for my mama.
That was shocking. You do not drink. It's gonna burn a little.
My whole throat is burning all the way down to my stomach.
Oh my God. She drank that.
An
Friday.
allergy pill, Katy. You'll be okay. Just take an allergy pill.
I think I'm dying. All right, Lise. Hi. Good to see you. Hi, Sandra, Kathleen, Sarah, Miss Jan, Anika. Thank you so much. Okay, only for my mama. I have not had a drink in 30-some years. Okay. Whew. All right, so we thank all of you for being here. We did record, and so I will do a private Zoom link, and I will send it to you guys through text as well. So if you ever wanted to hear this or see it as well, you have my information. So I will be there to be able to keep in touch. And so I love you all. Thank you for honoring my mother in such an amazing way. Thank you. And stay tuned.
Rock on, girl.
Thank you. Rock on.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Love you, Katy.
Love you too.
Love you too. Love you, Katy.
Thank you. Put this back on.
Bye, Katy. You did a great job.
Thank you.
It's beautiful.
Love you, Katy.